It is about 6 p.m. here. I'm headed home from work early. Really excited to just spend the evening at home. I'm gonna go see my parents. I am going to eat a yogurt bowl. I am really excited about little things like this. I just love the unexpected moments of life. I love when things don't necessarily go to plan. I think in my old life, I liked to control things, and I didn't even know that I did. I didn't even know that I had this desire to have everything okay and everything under control. And I definitely cared a lot about what people thought about me. I definitely put a large emphasis on showing up and being exactly the person that who was talking to me wanted me to be. It didn't matter who that was, friendship, non-friendship, business relationship, any person around me. I conformed. I put on a mask. I was a mirror, just a mere reflection of who they were, who I thought they wanted me to be. So where I never really got to just show up in my goofy, fully authentic self, I started being myself after I found God, and a lot of the things that I used to care about, I don't care about anymore. Everything flipped upside down. And all the things that I used to sort of take for granted and not really find joy in or comfort in, I'm like loving. Like, I love the little mundane random things in my day. I love getting home and seeing my cat. Definitely spending more time with family, reading a book, eating a little something, like just being happy and excited about random little things, because it's like all the big things that I thought mattered so much just don't matter at all to me anymore. I'm very happy with whatever kind of comes my way. I like unexpected things. I like exciting things. I like reaching my goals. I like kind of turning things upside down and inside out and realizing that there's a lot of beauty in the unexpected and just beauty in whatever comes your way, because now I have this peace where it's like, oh, someone doesn't like something that you said? Cool. That means I'm being my authentic self. That means I'm not having to trade in a lie for the truth, because I do believe that there is a truth. There is an absolute truth. I have found the absolute truth, and I get to just show up as I am in a very loving and kind way. But I have opinions. I have beliefs. And I used to be such a person to where I was just in the middle of the road on every issue. I was a pacifist. I was a moderate. Everything about me in my old people pleasing ways, was just so in the middle. I just wanted everyone to be happy. But the truth is that not everyone's going to be happy. Not everyone's going to be pleased with you. And I think that's a brilliant thing. I think it's so freeing to be able to just be yourself and to believe what you believe and to love other people, regardless if they accept you or not. I think it's awesome. And we don't have to convince other people of our opinions. All we have to do is lead by example and be gentle and kind with people exactly where they are. Not everyone's going to understand your new life. And that's okay. We get one life and we can make it count, and we get to be gracious to other people who are going through totally different scenarios than we are. And I've come to just this level of peace where, like I said, the little things that I used to take for granted bring me so much joy now. Such a small thing like reading the Bible or getting to talk to God or just dreaming of the future or just laying out on my bed and having my cat there. I don't know, just the present moment is so enjoyable when my life and my expectations are not high and low dependent on the people the people who are in my life, and two, these ideas, these false realities that I always thought like, oh, once I achieve this, then I'll be happy. Especially whenever it comes to social media. That's one thing. Like, I always have loved to take photos and videos, document my life. I love beauty and nature and just artistic things. I also was a people pleaser. So I always wanted this very poetically curated, beautiful Instagram feed. And that mattered a lot to me. I think just people's perception of me, like, I just wanted to show up in this curated, perfect way. I think growing up around social media has us to believe that. But now it's like, if I'm not really posting something raw and real and vulnerable, or like something that I feel like has meaning or purpose, I feel like I'm almost glossing over this really big part of my life. Just like the biggest part of my life is God, Jesus. Like, that is the biggest part of my life. And I'm going to share that, and maybe it's weird or strange to people. I understand that it is, because me a year ago would not have understood those things. So I understand that it is pretty unfamiliar to a lot of people, but I've come to accept that because it is the truth, and because Jesus and God ultimately has my 100% loyalty. There's no need to overthink the acceptance of that or the perception of how that may appear to some people, because I have beliefs. These beliefs I believe to be true. I believe with my entire mind, soul, body, and spirit, because I have seen miracles of Jesus. I have seen the miracle of the Bible. I've seen my old life and comparing it to the life that I have now, and I would die for him. I would die for my faith. And I'm at that point where it's more important for me to be loyal to God than loyal to this false idea of having to like present a certain way to people who may or may not understand this. And we live in a world where if you are polarizing, or if you have like a belief system, it's almost like you're a hateful person. And I don't think it has to be that way. When we are loyal to what we believe, and that could be God for you, that could be whatever you believe in, just being a good person, whatever that is. When we're loyal to what we believe, it's not about how it is perceived, because we're doing it for a deeper meaning and a deeper purpose. And that purpose is about loving people exactly where they are and telling them the truth. I think the truth is loving. I want to always stay grounded and rooted in the truth. There's always room to grow and to understand and to learn more, and I'm on that journey. But I have seen a stark contrast from my life before this piece and my life after, knowing the peace and love of Jesus Christ. See, it always comes back to him. I try to talk about some like self-help thing. It always comes back to him, because he has my heart. And I will just talk, and I talk about it a lot. I get really, really excited when I think about it, because I just know that it doesn't matter what happens. I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, right? Where you're like, it doesn't matter what happens. I have this relationship, right? I have my boyfriend or I have my girlfriend. So it doesn't matter what happens. Like, we could go into an apocalypse. It doesn't matter because I have the love of my life. Or it doesn't matter what happens because I love the gym so much, and the gym will always be there. So I will always get to work out and do my passion. It's like, once you find that thing that you are living for, that thing that drives you to do whatever it takes in order to live life for that purpose, everything else gets really small and your perspective shifts to where anything in the world could happen and you're still content because you know that one thing that's driving you is the force that's within you. And there's so much beauty in that. For me, that is my relationship with God, and also knowing that God is the beginning and the end. So whatever storms come our way, and life is full of them. And I'm a sensitive person. Like, things get me really excited and things also get me really sad. But I know that it's no longer up to me to lead my steps. It's no longer up to me to perform a certain way for people to accept me. All that I have to do is follow my calling, which is loving people and loving God and sharing the truth. And the right people will fall into your orbit, and the wrong people will kind of pass away and move on to other places where, they are meant to be. And I find a lot of peace in this, a lot of comfort, and a lot of joy in the mundane, in the little things that I used to take for granted. I'm so, so happy to be alive. And I want other people to also feel this way because it's possible. It doesn't matter what you've done, where you come from, what you've believed all your life. If you knew me before, you would believe in miracles because this is not how I was before, you guys. I was very, very lost and very confused, very hurt, very just lacking hope, lacking understanding. My behavior ended up manifesting into my reality and the way I looked and the way I thought. And I was in shackles. I was basically in a prison that I made for myself through being hurt by the world and not knowing the truth of who I was. And it all goes back to your identity and where that identity is rooted in. So I encourage you to find something worth living for, find something worth fighting for, even if that something just has to be you right now, and healing your inner child, as a lot of people will say, taking care of you right now as the person that you always have been, your soul, and taking care of that beautiful person who just wants to be loved and cared for and nurtured. And I think self-care is a beautiful place to start, to show up for yourself, to wake up when your alarm goes off, to be excited for the unexpected things in the day, to release control. We already have so many responsibilities. We shouldn't have this lingering anxiety about everything having to be perfect in our life and to show up perfect, because who cares if some people, we rub them the wrong way. That's sounds like their problem, not our own problem. There's other things to worry about in life. And we get life on this earth for a short amount of time. So we might as well make it count, and we might as well love other people and love ourselves well, and just be kind and be open to new opportunity and open to closed doors, open to open doors, and hopeful of things. Have high expectations. I have high expectations. I like to pray before I get in the car. I like to pray before anything, before I go into any building. I just speak Jesus over it. I speak peace over it. He is my rock. Everything is rooted in him. Therefore, I am peaceful. And I have a peace that doesn't really make sense to the world, because a lot of people's peace and their sense of just contentment and happiness is rooted in things that change. They go up and down. So I don't have to be in a certain country to be happy. I don't have to be in a certain job to be happy, or in a certain relationship. In fact, my life looks different now than I ever thought it would, and I'm so okay with that. But yeah, I encourage you to be hopeful, So have high expectations for your life. This is really, really important because even if you do believe in God, even if you are a follower of Christ, of Jesus Christ, a lot of people who believe in God, they put restrictions on God and restrictions on themselves in their own life because they are caught up in shame and they're doing things that don't reflect the true value of who they are. So we have to walk the walk and believe with our actions. We have to put the actions behind our faith because when we do that, we start having a lot more faith. And guys, it's just a ripple effect. I encourage you to go all in. I think that's the word of the day. Go all in. Whatever it is, go all in. Believe with your whole heart. And I promise you will see a lot of changes very, very soon. It's a great day. Life is worth living. Life is worth loving. And whatever happens, happens. Do your absolute best. Don't settle for less. Do your absolute best. You are an excellent, unique, perfect creation. So I encourage you to live according to that and just be open to learning something new. Be open to not having all the answers right now or not having it all figured out. Just be open to living in the present moment, living today, loving you today. I love you. I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.